which is done in the validating configuration changes for existing infrastructure. The demonstration and inspection, that means verification is done. The validation of the existing is done and compared with the new system requirements. Execution, once the testing is over, we will perform the execution. Hello and warm welcome to one and all. It is Dr. Ravikumar YB, Department of Computer Science, Vidyashram First Grade College, Mysuru, the Temple of Excellence. In today's session, you will be taught about the design validation process. In the previous session, I had taught about the design verification process. In today's session, we shall discuss about the design validation process of software engineering. The design validation process involves some of the designs may be validated by comparing the similar equipment performing similar purposes. That is, the reason for this is to reuse the existing functionalities is called as the similar equipment performing similar purpose. The reason for that is reuse. This method is particularly relevant, that is the reuse method, which is done in the validating configuration changes for existing infrastructure or standard designs that are to be incorporated into a new system or application. That means the existing application needs to be incorporated into the new application. That is, the existing configuration is incorporated into new applications by using the concept of reuse. That means any of the existing configuration of a system may be reused for any new system which are having the similar functionalities requirement. That is the meaning of validation process in this technique. Here, demonstration and inspection may be used to validate requirements and other functionality of a product. As I told you right now, that is, the validation is done. That means validation requirements and other functionalities of a product is done by the demonstration and inspection. That means verification is done, and demonstration which is done at the acceptance testing level. That is, during the time of delivery of a software to the client, we will perform the demonstration of that to the client. So that is called as the acceptance testing. That is, the client is going to accept the product which is developed for him. That is called as an acceptance testing, which is done to demonstrate that the requirement is met with the help of these software tools. That means the inspection and demonstration is done there. Next, analyzing the design can be done, such as the mathematical modeling, a simulation which can be recreated via functionality. That is called as this. Then, tests are performed on the final design that validates the ability of the system to operate as per the specified design. What is the meaning of this? Please look at it. The final design that validates the ability of the system to operate as per the specified design. That means we have a new system that is specified with certain specifications. The validation of the existing is done and compared with the new system requirements so that it can be incorporated into the new system. That is the meaning of this. Then function-oriented design, we require this function-oriented design at a high-level description of what the program does. It is written in a general paragraph manner to indicate that that is the code functionality. That means the functionality of a code is written in the form of a description. That is, the textual information is given to it. Then each step we take one part of our high-level description and refine it. Refinement is actually a process of elaboration. That means expansion of the refinement is done to incorporate the necessary changes required in a new system. Then the process should proceed from a highly conceptual model to lower level details. That means from the high level description to the low level conceptual model is done. That means the refinement of each module is done until we reach the statement level of our programming language. That is the meaning of that. Then function-oriented design also includes the test plan, the test cases, test case 1, test case 2, test case 3. What is this test case 1 and test case 2 and test case 3? TC1, TC2, TC3. The type of input given to the system, that is the type of input given to the system is cross-verified, and for which input what is the type of exception being raised by the system is noted. That is in case of test case 1, test case 2, test case 3, all these things are carried out. Then execution, once the testing is over, we will perform the execution. That is the integration testing. Execution of the entire project is done and the results should be documented and maintained as a part of the design records. As a part of the design records, we will note down all of those execution results. Thus, validation is a collection of the results of all the validation activities. That is, all these validation activities are noticed as a part of the design document. When equivalent products are used in the final design validation, the manufacturer must document the similarity and if any difference from initial production. That means after refining the system, what is the changes that has taken place in the final design process is going to be noticed. Then example. Let us take an example of the simple product, a waterproof watch. The product requirement document might state that the water must be waterproof during swimming. That means water resistant watch. The design specification might state that the watch should function even if the user swims for a prolonged time. That means for a longer period of time. When a swimmer swims in water, it has to be in a working state. It has to be resistant enough against water. The testing result should confirm that the watch should meet these requirements, else the redesign iterations are done until it satisfies the requirement. That is the meaning of that. What are the advantages of design validation and verification process? Let me take you into that. We can continuously monitor the designs, which enables us to meet the user-defined requirements at every stage. At every part of this verification, the user requirements is cross-verified with the output which is obtained from the developed system. Then validating the design will point out the difference between how the functionality works and how it is expected to work. That means at each point of time, the validation states that whether it is working according to the requirements of a client, whether we have created or developed work of an required commitment which is given to the client. That means we have met all of the requirements according to the expectations of a client. That is done with respect to this. That is called as a validation. Then documenting the validation procedures will help us to easily understand the functionality at any stage in the future if there might be any change or enhancement made. Suppose if there is any concept of reuse is required, we can do so. That is, noticing all those changes in the design document will help us to incorporate the similar kind of changes in any new system which requires the same functionality, that is, which is already existing with us. Then, development team will be consistently reduced, improving productivity, which enables to deliver the product as expected. That is, as per the requirement of a client, we are going to deliver the product to them. This process includes range and scope of each validation methods that are required to be employed. That means the different types of methods that is employed to verify and validate the requirements. Along with that, what is developed by the developer, that is going to be validated with the different types of methods. The validation methods can be carried out using detailed design data that represent the final user requirements. That means the final user requirements specified in the SRS is again compared with the design documentation, which is going to give a proof of validation that all of the requirements are correctly delivered to the client. Then, any difference between the outcome and the user need documents must be captured. Suppose if there is any difference in the delivered product with respect to the documentation which we have done earlier, then changes in the validation design lead to the revalidation activity. This is very, very important. Suppose if there is any changes observed in the output that is produced in the developed system with reference to the documentation done at the SRS, then it has to be done once again. That means revalidation is to be done once again, revalidation activity. Then it is important to document every activity that occurs during validation, which adequately proves that the design meets the user requirements. That is the same thing as I stated now, that is, but adequately proves that the design meets the user requirements. All of the user requirements are met properly. So with this, I am concluding this session. Thank you very much. Thank you one and all.